So here's how you can make so much money. Your parents think that you sell drugs. And the reason I know this is because I've seen it with my own eyes. 20, 21, 22-year-old kids living in Dubai in penthouses, making $50, $60, and $70,000 per month. And no, this has nothing to do with trading meme coins. The people who have won this bull market are not the ones that are gambling in the casino. These are the people that own the billboards that lead into the casino. Here's what I mean. By the way, if this is the first time we meet, I'm Leon Aboud, founder and CEO at Unfungible. We help brands launch and scale their brand presence in crypto using organic marketing strategies that last. We are not into the whole quick attention that leads into a quick dump after a launch. Instead, we like to build the projects that we work with in a way that is sustainable so they have sustainable attention around their ecosystem. And these videos I make for free for you to share all the secrets related to Web3 marketing and all the secrets that I'm learning working with all these brands that you can implement in your brand today. Now, going back to how do you make so much money your parents think that you sell drugs? The real people, the real winners of this bull market are not those who are trading meme coins. These are the people that own all the audiences. These are the influencers, the micro KOLs, people that have 60, 70, 80,000 followers that are making anywhere between $50,000 to $70,000 per month of their content. And usually these people have a team of 2 people that work with them. So that $50,000 that they're making, they're taking home 45. They are running an insane business with huge profit margins. And all they had to do is to build an audience around their brand. And I'm going to explain to you why it pays so well by using a concept called CPMs. And after I explain that to you, I'm going to turn that back to you and tell you how you can start doing that. So what is CPMs? CPMs in marketing terms means cost per mile, which is nothing but the cost that it takes you to reach 1,000 eyeballs. Let's say with Facebook, for example, Facebook ads, back in the days when I was doing Facebook ads, the cost, the CPM in the United States, which is the most expensive in the world, was about $30 to $60 per 1,000 eyeballs. And here's the fascinating thing. I'm about to share with you 2 things that are gonna make you be like, I get it. That makes sense. So in crypto, can you guess what the CPM is? In crypto, and this is based on data that we have internally on Unfungible because we work with influencers all the time, the people that are making $50,000 to $70,000 per month, our client budgets go to them. So I know that these guys are printing. With that said, the CPMs in crypto, so the cost of showing your ad to 1,000 people is anywhere between $150 to $250 for 1,000 eyeballs. Imagine how crazy that is. And here's the second stat that is going to make a lot of sense to you. In traditional marketing, you have the advertiser pays the platform that shows the ad to the audience. In crypto, we have no platform. Crypto projects are not spending their millions of dollars of marketing budget on X ads or YouTube ads or Facebook ads. Guess where this money is going to? A vast majority of all the marketing budget that projects are spending it on influencers. Traditionally, the middleman is the person that absorbs the most wealth. In that case, the middleman is not the platforms, it is the influencers. It is the people in the middle that are printing and are making all the money. And you might be asking yourself, Leon, why are CPMs so expensive in crypto? Why are we looking at $250 CPMs? And I think it's important for you to know and understand as you're probably looking to build your business and your goal is perhaps one day to become that type of person that can make 50, 60, 70K per month just with your brand. So there's a combination of a couple of things that happen. I'll tell you a story. So when I was in e-commerce, it took us a lot of time to break Facebook ads. It was a hard platform. One day it was profitable, the other day was break even, the third day was break even, the fourth day we were not making money. It was because the CPMs were so expensive, it wasn't very good for back then when I was doing e-commerce. I had my big breakthrough moment in advertising and in e-commerce when TikTok ads launched their ad platform. Because the way TikTok ads did it is they first built a huge user base. I'm talking like I think 1 billion users. And then they launched the ad platform. So what happened was you had 1 billion people that were starting to see ads on their platform, but then on TikTok, you had no advertisers that are spending money. So the CPM cost was super low. It was, I remember, like $1 to $2 to advertise in the US. To the same audience, it would cost $30 on Facebook. And that's when I had my big breakthrough moment. The reason why, and this is important, you're gonna understand why, there was a lot of supply of eyeballs and few advertisers. So you had a cheap CPM. In crypto, it's the other way. In crypto, what happens, or the current state of crypto, is you have all these brands right here, all these companies that are super heavily funded. They have millions of dollars in marketing that they're able to spend. This is money from VC. And what they're all trying to do is they're trying to reach a very small audience size on crypto. Crypto consumers is a very small audience. On Twitter, people say that it's anywhere between 100,000, so 100K to 300K. I think it's around that 300K level. But then you have all these brands that are with a lot of budget that are trying to reach a very small amount of people. So unlike TikTok where you had a lot of people, not a lot of brands, here you have a lot of brands, not a lot of people. So this drives CPM prices all the way up. The second factor that is at hand is that crypto consumers are not like, in e-commerce, my ticket size was like $30, $40, $50. So my ability to acquire a customer was limited to this. I was selling a $30 product, $10 was the cost of the product, so I had $20 in margin. So my cost was probably, I could spend $20 max to acquire this customer. In crypto, we don't have users, we have super users. We've seen it again and again. People's purchasing power in crypto is very high. If you acquire a customer, there's a likelihood that this person isn't spending $20, $30. They're putting $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $100,000 sometimes on your platform. They're buying your assets worth $100,000. They're buying your tokens. They're depositing that on your platform. Crypto users are super users. So what this means is that every user is very valuable to a brand. So they are willing to spend more to acquire a customer. That's the second reason why CPMs are expensive. Not only is it a small audience, but it's a valuable audience. So CPMs, they go up. And when you combine these two things with the fact that all the marketing dollar budget ends up going to the people right here, the middleman, which happens to be the influencer, that is how you find creators who are making, like I'm talking tens and tens of thousands of dollars. I'm probably not supposed to share this, but I will because you're my viewers. I'm gonna share with you the following. So for example, this creator, $1.2 thousand for 1 quote retweet and 4 comments, which probably they have a copywriter that is writing the copy and replying to the comments. So this is gonna take them 30 minutes to do. Then we have $900, $500, $750, $750, 1K, 1K, 2K, 1K, 1K. I know there are other creators as well that are charging 3-4K. And these are rates for something that will take them seconds to write, and they probably get dozens of those per month. This is the scale that these creators are operating on. Now, there is a dark side to it. Well, not necessarily a dark side, but there is a limitation to this that I'm going to be talking to you about. And here's how I've done it, because I talk about business and it's my duty and responsibility to also warn you of the potential downsides that going this route has. There are 2 downsides. The first one is that it is an extractive way of doing business when it comes to your community. Let's say you've spent years or months building a community, building an audience of people that like your content, they like to watch you, they respect you, and they just want to support you. And then they start seeing you making ads. The first ad, the second ad, the third ad, the fourth ad, the fifth ad. By that time, they're gonna be like, okay, like, cool, I understand this creator, how they're making money. And the rapport that you have with them starts to go down. They feel being used because they know that they are the final product of that creator. So you start losing brand rapport with your audience by going this route. The second problem with this strategy is that because of what we just spoke about, you are capped to a certain revenue level. I remember sitting down with this very famous gaming creator back in February during NFT Paris. I sat down with him, crypto gaming creator. He's one of the top guys. And he told me, he was like, Leon, I'm currently stuck at that $50,000 level per month and I'm unable to grow. So what we did, we were sitting in the restaurant, I took a napkin, we mapped out all the potential path that he had. And we agreed that the following. We agreed that he can't take on more ads because it would be like too much. Number two, he doesn't want to monetize his audience by creating like an alpha group and charging them a membership. So number three, we agreed that the right path for him, because he had big goals, the right path for him would be to build a business on top of his audience. So a real business, something that compounds without it being extractive to your audience. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the exact strategy that I've used with Unfungible. We're on track to closing 2025 with over $2 million in revenue. So that's about 170K per month in revenue. Although it's lower margins than a creator that has one employee, it is more scalable. And that is a strategy that I've used. I've never made a paid ad. You can rest assured if you're watching this, I've never taken a single dollar from a brand to talk about them to you, neither on my YouTube, neither on my X. I often get asked, hey Leon, how much would you charge to be on your podcast? How much would you charge to have a case study made by you? And my answer is always zero, because I don't sell my opinion. And that is not how I make money in the space. Here's the logic that I have. For me to pay Facebook ads $10, it only makes sense if I'm making $30, right? Like I will only pay Facebook ads if I'm making money on the back end. The same logic applies also in crypto influencers. Let's say a brand is paying a creator $250 CPM. That means that in the back, that project is making money. There's a delta between the value versus the value that you're paying to market and the real value of the user. Let's put it a conservative 3x to it. So this means that this 1,000 eyeballs are actually worth $750 because that brand is not gonna pay if they're not making money. This makes sense. So as a creator, you can only charge up to this. But the beautiful thing about building an audience and then building your own business that you create around your audience is that you have the ability not to dip in that ROI, but in that ROI. You have the audience and the upside that the audience gives you. And that is how you are able to build an audience and a community, something that lasts over time and grows and compounds. For example, my audience, Unfungible, I get messages from people telling me that I've helped them build their brand, I've helped them build their dream project, I've saved them tens of thousands of dollars on failed marketing initiatives. I have a real audience that I'm genuinely proud that I've built. And these are all people that eventually one day maybe will come to me and be like, hey Leon, like how can we work together with Unfungible? Or one day perhaps when I launch a book, when I launch a product that is a bit more accessible to everyone. These are all people that will want to reciprocate the value that I've created in their life. And this is the beautiful thing about building an audience, because I want you to start treating your audience like a certain person, not a number. The problem with going the influencer route is that you start looking at your audience in numbers. You forget that these are real people and you look at them as numbers. And when you treat your audience like a number, they will reciprocate that back and treat you like a number as well. When you generally create value, when you help your audience, and when your audience feels that you respect their attention and you don't put trash in front of them because you get paid for it, people feel it. And although you're putting money aside in the short term, that is going to compound in the long term. So that is my recommendation to you. If you build an audience, again, crypto has the highest dollar per follower amount in any industry that ever exists. I've built Unfungible into what it is today on top of a YouTube channel that has 5,000 subscribers and my ex that has less than 20,000 followers. I have in Web2 audiences over 1 million followers on my media companies, and I've never been able to make 1% of what Unfungible has become. That is to paint the picture to you of the value that exists per audience in Web3. And then my recommendation to you is to build an audience where you are also naturally and logically solving their next problem that they will have, using your company, using your products, using what you have to be able to sell them. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this made sense to you today. I'm Leon Aboud. I'm the founder and CEO at Unfungible. Let's make sure we are connected on X at @LeonAboud_. And by the way, I've started publishing content on Instagram more seriously, so make sure we're also connected over there. Leon Aboud, I'm easy to find. And send me a message over there letting me know you came from YouTube. We'll make sure to connect back. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.